I'm gonna tell you something embarrassing. I am an anime fan. Now I'm gonna make what I just said 10 times worse. I am also a manga reader. Now these are two things that you absolutely shouldn't say because it will just instantly destroy your social status. Like if someone is interested or they like want to talk to you or they say you're an anime fan or you have like an anime shirt off, it is just instantly game over for you. And everyone around you is just gonna be instantly disturbed to be around you like it's some AoE effect. And to make this statement even more worse, I am a JoJo fan. Now, why am I suddenly talking about JoJo? Well, that's because JoJo Part 9, Jojolands, ended up releasing, I think about a month ago. Now, this is something that I wanted to talk about when the part released, but a lot of extremely goofy internet drama ended up happening during the time, so that I don't want to talk about that, and I ended up putting this video on like, oh, I'll talk about this later. And you know when you say you're going to do something later, it absolutely never gets done. It got put back 100% of the time over and over and over again, until now we are now where I think Chapter 2 is almost getting ready to launch, and now I'm here to talk about it. When it comes to me and JoJo, I am not an OG JoJo fan. I'm not someone who's been there since the beginning, since the anime aired, since in the JoJo community. There's a lot of people who are like giga entitled about that. Like there are so much people who make their whole identity that like they have been there since the beginning of the anime. Yeah, I've been there watching I think since 2012. I'm not one of those. I ended up picking up in between the limbo stage between part 4 and 5. I say on the real start of like JoJo exploding and a lot of people really getting into it is when I started doing it, and then I ended up catching up on all of JoJo extremely fast. Like in I think in the span of like 3 days I ended up watching every single part of JoJo, which how much episodes that was up to part 4, that is like a lot of just anime. Now that's something that I haven't done in a long time, and I think it is still one of my like longest watch sessions that I end up having just in one sitting. I didn't like get up and do drinks straight up for those 3 days. The whole day was literally just me sitting down watching JoJo, like stopping to eat food while watching JoJo. It just me taking like little breaks just to rest my eyes because I just been looking at a stream of all time. It just was back in the day when we didn't really care about stuff like blue light, or like TVs and monitors didn't have the settings where you could like switch it to night mode and like protect your eyes from like these blue light rays. I'm just here looking at it completely and then just wondering like why my eyes hurt even though I'm just looking at anime all day. Then after when part 5 ended up airing, I wanted to watch more JoJo. I didn't want to wait until part 6 I ended up getting animated, so I ended up getting into reading the JoJo manga. As I know it since I started getting into JoJo had 8 parts, with the last part being Jojolands. Yeah, that's basically been JoJo, and that's basically how we knew it. When you're done watching the anime, you'll usually read part 6, Steel Ball Run, and then you'll catch up to Jojolands, which when I started reading manga, I ended up reading that monthly. But now we are in a new dawn of time where JoJo Part 9 is now releasing, Jojolands, and the first chapter is currently out, and it just hits me with this weird experience. It feels weird to actually be there at the start of finish on something. Now this is a feeling that I don't really do a lot because I don't really watch a lot of shows weekly or watch a lot of shows, and usually what I do is like a show that I don't really care about that much. It'll just be something I'm fine with reaching weekly. But this JoJo experience of me waiting monthly for the chapters just hit absolutely different. When I ended up reading JoJolion, I ended up reading it when it was absolutely finished, when all the chapters were released, and I kind of binged all of it and just read all of it in one speech. But now we are here at the beginning of a new JoJo part, and it's like this dawn of a new age, and it just has this feeling that I can't really describe. It's like this feeling that hits absolute different, which I think a lot of other people are going through this feeling because you see the same sentiment with the ending of Attack on Titan Season 4. If we don't know, the Attack on Titan final season is now actually ending, which I think is funny because the final season of Attack on Titan ended up happening around 2020, and it's like literally 3 years later and we are still in the final season of Attack on Titan, and then they also split it in like multiple parts, where I think like part 1 is now out and already released, and we're not going to get the second part until like winter. Like they're really going to milk this as long as they can. But I think a lot of people are going through that same feeling of actually being there since the ending of Attack on Titan, watching it since the beginning, and now being there to see the ending of the anime kind of with everyone. And it's like this experience that hit different that I only feel like a few shows can really do it. And JoJo's one that's really doing that for me. I don't really care about waiting monthly when it comes to most mangas. Most mangas that I read, and when I wait for the next chapter to release, I usually just put it in a way where whatever it happens, it happens. Like I'll just check someday to see if the new chapter release, and then if it does release, and I read it. But with JoJo, it's something that I'm actually like keeping up with, seeing like the community's reaction, and just being there at the start of something. I don't really know how to describe this feeling because it really is different. It's not just like where something you look forward to come out. It's not like that, because I know I talked about this a lot, but Destiny 2 Lightfall is something that I look forward to, and that came out. I didn't have this absolutely crazy experience, but being there at the beginning of like Jojolands, this like legendary manga that I didn't even know was going to continue because it truly thought like part 8 was going to be over, but seeing it continue, it's like brings me like this weird wholesome feeling, this happy feeling that I can can now see the beginning, middle, and end of a JoJo part from the beginning. And it's just a feeling that I want to share. Anyway, this is just something that I want to talk about. My name is Lua. You have a good day or night. See you.